How's it going, everyone? It is Andre Williams, and over here we talk stocks and we focus on one thing: always protect your profits. And today we're going to be talking about EVGO. Many people have been asking me, Dre, you covered ChargePoint. What about EVGO? What about Volta? I will be doing a video on Volta, so stay tuned for that. But in this video, we're going to be talking about EVGO. There's been a lot of volatility inside of the market, and I do see some opportunities here only for those that are interested. I won't waste any more time. Let's jump into the agenda. If you're new to this channel, I just want to let you know we have timestamps down below inside the description. But if you're a shareholder or you're thinking about taking a position, I highly suggest you watch this full entire video. So the first thing we're going to go over is the technical analysis. We're going to be taking a look at the overall price action. We want to know support. We want to know resistance. We want to know what it looks like in the bearish case scenario and the bullish case scenario. I want to make sure you're prepared. And then we're going to go on Fintel, taking a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information. The reason why the short interest is important because it does have an impact on the way the stock performs. And then we're going to be taking a look at the order flow distribution. We want to know the buying and the selling behavior on the institutional side and as well as on the retail side. And then when all of that is done, we'll be getting into the final thoughts and as well as some more details. So let's get to it. So we're going to do a technical analysis for EVGO. Let's see how it performed on Friday. So it ended up closing at $9.52, being down 0.63%. On the low, it tested $9.35. And then on the high, testing $10.18. When we take a look at the volume stats on the day, you can see we traded at 3.361 million shares, and the average volume over 10 trading days is at 4.464 million shares. So we had below average volume on the day, and we've seen a slight pullback inside of the stock. Now, when we take a look at our chart, which is the daily chart, we can see from the RSI down below, it is at 40.64. And then when we take a look at our moving averages here on the chart, we are below the 50-day, the 200-day, and as well as the 21-day EMA and the 100-day. So what we can see right away, EVGO is in a bear market. So when it comes to taking positions, we want to see, hey, where is support showing up at? So we can see we do have some strong support here right at the $9 level. When we get there, we have buyers stepping in. As far as for the low of the day we see on Friday, it was at $9.35. So if we continue to have a sell-off inside of the market, I will look at an entry right here at the $9 level. Only do this if you believe in the long-term prospects. Of course, if you are a trader, you're going to want to wait for it to form a base and then think about going long from there, but you got to take in the market conditions that we're in. Now, as far as when we take a look now, as far as upside, a reversal, that's what people want to know about. For the 21-day EMA, I'd want to see price action above that. So since it's right around $10.45, a move above 10.45 and then making that move to 10.70 and then essentially 11 is where we will reach that psychological area, and you'd want to look forward for another move up. If we can get past the 200-day, then we can get out of this bear market that EVGO is in. So that's just one thing you want to add to your homework and so on. But for the most part, let's see how EVGO performs for the coming week. But at the current prices of where it's at, there's going to be continued volatility, so just make sure you have a game plan. So we're going to take a look at the recent institutional ownership and short interest information for EVGO. So as we scroll down further on the page, green rows indicate new positions, while red rows indicate closed positions. So we could see towards the end of December, institutions were loading up on shares. Most recent for December the 29th, we have EVGO that purchased 2.9 million shares, just over that. We also have EVGO Global Clean Energy ETF that purchased just over 377K shares. And we also have BAT that purchased over 134,000 shares. So we see institutions have been loading up on EVGO. Now, when we take a look at the short interest, the dark pool short volume ratio is at 58.32%, and then for the dark pool short volume, it is at 866,685 shares. Scrolling down further on the page, the short shares availability is at 30,000, updated just now, and then for the short ball fee rate, it is at 10.13%. When we take a look at the history of the short volume ratio, we could see for the close of January the 6th, it was at 50.36, and then for the close of the 7th, which was yesterday, it was at 50. 58.32. So it has gone up, and what this tells us right away, it does have short squeeze potential. So if we have a catalyst coming into the space in regards to the EV sector, or we start seeing some strength as far as for tech stocks, EVGO can move really well, and that's part of the reasons why I want to make sure you keep it on your radar. So now let's go into the order flow distribution. Now let's take a look at the order flow distribution for EVGO. So we could see here on the inflows at 6,355, and then on the outflow it was at 5,538. So we ended up having an inflow day. Taking a look at the breakdown, we had 0 on the large, 3,730 on the medium, and then 2,625 on the small. Taking a look at the outflow side, we had 0 on the large. On the medium, we had 3,143, and then on the small, we had 2,395. Taking a look at the large scale orders in the last 5 days, you could see for January the 7th, so the Friday that just passed, we had 0. We also saw this on the 6th, we also saw this on the 5th, and we also saw it on the 3rd. But we did have an inflow day on January the 4th, which was at 745.94. Analyzing the numbers even further for the small scale orders that tends to represent the retail side, we had more buying than we had selling. And then when we take a look at what happened on the medium, we had more buying than we had selling. And then when we take a look at the large scale orders, which potentially could be representing institutions, it was 0. And then when we take a look now at the turnover ratio, it was at 1.27%. And you know what? This is not too bad for a stock like EVGO. This is actually really good. I think I need to go out there and purchase some shares come on Monday. But one of the things I want to make sure I talk about, it has been showing some stable price action going through all of this volatility. Yes, it has pulled back, but it is very interesting seeing the strength inside of the stock, and it's part of the reasons why I do see some upside here. I'll talk about it inside of the final thoughts. Let's get into it right now. So for my final thoughts for EVGO, I definitely do like this play, and I'm going to be looking to actually get into a position sometime this week. As far as for entry is concerned, I'm looking to get in right at $9 a share. If we get that pullback, we should be able to receive that. But one thing that is clear, there are a lot of buyers at that level. So I'm going to probably go in with a limit order. I'm not going to watch it and so on. As far as price action is concerned, I would love to see EVGO make a bullish reversal, getting back above the $10 level and then making that move to 11 and then seeing where we can go from there. But do know it is in the EV space. So when we have those catalysts coming through and we know the EV sector is continuing to grow, then EVGO can benefit from this. And what sets it aside from ChargePoint and as well as for Volta, they are the leaders when it comes to DC fast charging. And we also do know, and I'm not too sure if we covered it on the channel or not, they have deals with GM and as well as with Uber. So knowing that this company is going in the right direction, and also on their last earnings report, they showed some strong revenue growth, this is an interesting stock to take a look at. Continue to do some homework, continue to do some due diligence before considering to get into this play, because it is a growth stock. It's going to come with volatility. Also, when we went on Fintel, taking a look at the short interest information, it still continues to have short squeeze potential. And I'm not surprised by that. We've seen a lot of small and mid cap stocks pulling back big time. And shorts benefit from this, especially when we have retail that is selling. But one thing when we were taking a look at the turnover ratio, being at 1.27%, this is not bad at all. And this does tell me many people who are inside of the stock are holding on to their positions. And that's what really matters. You want to make sure you have high conviction, and seeing that there is demand in the market for EVGO shares is a big time plus. Now for the next question that I know I'm going to get, people are going to ask, so should I be putting my money in ChargePoint? Should I be putting it in Volta? Or should I be putting it in EVGO? I know another one is called Blink. And to be honest with you guys, I would choose the ones that you have the most high conviction in, or the second option that you could do is give yourself the diversity, because at least there's differences among these names. So like I was saying, the leader in DC fast charging, we have EVGO. ChargePoint just has a lot more stations than EVGO and as well as for Volta. And in regards to Volta, that is something different. The way how they position themselves, that is their focus. They want to make sure it's close to a work, close to where people actually shop, where they do their everyday things. And plus on top of that, they have that digital display, which they can make money off of advertisements and so on. So if you really want to make sure that you have a footprint in the EV sector that is going to be growing, then you might want to have a position in all three. And the one one that you're the most confident in, that's where you decide to say, well, you know what, I'm going to put more of my money there. But I think having exposure to 3 of these companies is not a bad idea. But of course, this is not financial advice. Do your homework, do your due diligence. I, for myself, I'm vested in ChargePoint, but I'm definitely going to be looking to be vested in EVGO and as well as for Volta. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and we'll be talking real soon.